All right, all right. We are just gonna start here tonight without me having everything right. So I'm going in raw, as the kids say. Was it raw dogging, blind, whatever the kids say. No single moms though. All right, looks like we're good on Kick or Twitch. Let's check Kick, even though it has a last episode number. Got to update that. And looks like we are good on Kick. And actually, I just want to make sure we're good on the main platform, which is YouTube. That's the platform I'm on. If you are watching this on Twitch or Kick, you don't continue to. You have no need to switch platforms. But the main one is the old YouTube. So I appreciate anyone joining me on any platform, whether it's live, playback. And it looks like we're good for all three. Don't kick people. And we're not late. We're right on time. Right on time. Maybe a minute late. Maybe we got a 5-minute window. All right. So I'm going to ask a question that we already know the answer to. Are we live? I said, are we live? Looks like we are. VigilanteWilliamson here on the 126th episode of VW Casual Stream. I just want to stream and don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Could play some old games. Could just talk. Could be a short stream. Could be a long one. Hopefully not too long. So what do you got talking about Philly to Diablo? Shout out to Stephanie Vicker. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Happy birthday. Is that what you mean? 45 minutes you'll be an older fart? I think happy birthday. Happy birthday. No, I saw some about a rainbow flag in Salt Lake City. Like they're making it the city flag or something like that to get around some law. I saw that and I was like, all right, well, sounds like their problem. What happened with the new mayor? What happened with the mayor? But I did see that they were switching that flag out. So I'm like, oh well. And what's rude? Y'all kicking people is rude. Hey, Real Way. Hey, Boosh. Appreciate you being here. See you there. You don't believe in TKO? I think a lot of people are having issues with TKO. Conquered by the pillow buyers. Yeah, man. Hey, you know who really run things? You know who you can't talk about. Speaking of, let's see what Real Way talking about. Hit or miss, because sometimes he'll give us some dope. Let's see what we got. Okay, first off, yeah, this is backstage, whatever. Star Wars stuff. Could do worse. Oh, that's it. Some Star Wars stuff. Okay. Okay. We've gotten worse, so I'll take it. Hey, Fizz, appreciate you being here. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. He said that's a classic. What is Fizz telling us? Oh shit, Echo the Dolphin. I remember that game. If I remember that being hard. Let me pause. Echo the Dolphin. No, not. Is apparently in the works, being made by the OG developers. There's a guy who likes retro and indie games that are retro style. That's pretty cool. Superman 64 was absolutely seen as a bad game. I have never played it, to be honest. They banned political flags in school. So I saw that. So they made the mayor LGBTQ plus flag. That's crazy. Oh, well, I mean, don't send your kids to public schools. There's a million. We just covered it, and I need to clip that last stream out. Don't send your kids to public schools. I know that may be hard. Pause. I know a lot of us, went through public schools. You can't. And it's more. Sheesh, that makes you feel old. But yeah, it was definitely before you were born. But you can't do it. Not especially the episode we had yesterday talking about the Buffalo Police Department. Or was it yesterday or the day before? Buffalo Police Department and the school system and the 911 dispatchers covering up a lot of stuff, mainly the school system, covering up a lot of dark stuff, a lot of stuff happening to your kids. So you just really can't trust these school systems, and that's just one. And if you think, things are different here, because a lot of people say, those Democrat-ran cities like Alabama, Iowa, and like some of these places don't got shitholes. I've been through parts of these countries. I've seen West Virginia. Some of these places got shitholes. And y'all think just because, they're not Democrat-ran. No, nothing ran, bro. Nothing ran. Nothing but a Dollar General and meth. You know what I mean? So a lot of those cities, they doing the same shit. Same shit. The noticing, you're not supposed to notice. That's the other coincidence crew. The rainbow people. They're the other coincidence crew. You're not supposed to notice. You're not supposed to notice. What's going on? Okay, let's see. Something about Mahomes. Okay. Oh, there's that. There's that. That's Alphabet Mafia. Yeah, Alphabet Mafia, whatever you want to call them. Look over both. It's the Chicas. No, shout out to the Chicas. Shout out to the Tortas. Shout out to everybody right now. Everybody's cool. Graduated from school, perfect timing. Man, they've been going crazy with the BS since my great grandma was in school, which I don't know if she would have been, but at least my mom, my life, you know what I mean. The whole since the 60s, 70s, it's been bullshit. But at least the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you still had shop, home ec, and certain skills being taught. Now they ain't even teaching you skills. I guess we had computer classes, but we didn't learn shit in school back in the 2000s. They learn it even less now. All the teachers is trying to touch your kids. You got to understand why do so many rainbow people want to be teachers? You ever notice that? Oh, GTA gonna be 120. Wade. GTA gonna be 120. It ain't gonna be a buck. It's gonna be more than 100. I don't hate it. I'm just not gonna buy it. I got no problem with it. I'm just not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna be, so big, especially because streaming the big game don't mean shit to this channel. They had the big uglies protected them like they the old low line. That's why you gotta try to run a 2-man. Yeah, you got public schools are doomed. Public schools are doomed, and not just pushing college. That's best case scenario. They just push you to go into debt for the rest of your life. Worst case scenario, they abuse you or you get abused and nobody says anything to anybody. It's lies. Yeah, public schools are a scam. Absolutely a scam. A lot of the shit that your boy, the orange man, cuts. I'm like, oh man, you shouldn't cut that. I don't think this should be cut. When they say they cut the education, I'm like, I'm with it, because one of the most demonic systems we got in this country is the damn education system. And most people don't know it. Most people still think it is worth a goddamn. And that's the sad part. People do not know how fucked up the education system is. And I get it. The education system exists in the way it does because of the necessity. Yes, a lot of people are starting to get their kids out of the public schools, but most people cannot afford to stay home with the kids. Even though, you talk about daycare and shit. Daycare can be expensive. Even latchkey can be expensive. Put a scale at the door. See who's right. Shout out to the tortas. Not too torta. I can only deal with so much torta. I'm not the super torta guy. I'm the medium torta guy. We are indoctrinated to worship education, which education is still valuable. Actually having information that you can apply to something useful is absolutely valuable and always will be valuable. It's not on the actual education, but that's not what kids are getting. They're getting indoctrination at best. Best case scenario, they go through 12 years, they don't learn shit, they get indoctrinated, and they get into the world with no skills and have to learn everything from scratch. That's the best case scenario. Again, worst case scenario is something happens either by means of one of these creepy ass teachers or one of these creepy ass students, and nothing gets reported, and you just got to live with that for the rest of your life, which you may have to anyway, obviously. But that's the worst case scenario, and it's unfortunately becoming more realistic and more normal. Indies, I'm not sure what word that was supposed to be. Worship Education Southwest Houston has a giant statue for the god of scholars. I've seen that. Well, I've seen it online, but I've never seen it in person. Hey, LDG. I mean to chat up with you. I've been so fucking busy. Work's killing me, and I don't know. Oh, boy, that's a whole nother thing. I think long term I got to look for another job. I think the writing's on the wall that this job will not be here in 6 months. Funny that guy, scholarly pursuits also got a chastity. Well, that part ain't going to be listened to by nobody nowadays. Normies and Star Wars in a nutshell didn't make this. Oh, Lord, man. Wait. What is this, buddy? What is this? I like Vampire Weekend, which I'm sure you didn't get the reference when I said it the one time, Richard. They were an indie band back in the 2000s. So what is this? I can't see because of this stupid thing. So I'm lost. One thing I was thinking of about Star Wars is the because there's a recent, I don't know if it's even a hot take. I disagree with the take, but I do understand it. There's a recent take that not only is, it's the various degrees of heat. How about that? That Revenge of the Sith, the third prequel, is not only better than Return of the Jedi, but it's some people's overall favorite movie in the series. That's the third prequel. I don't agree with that, but I do like Revenge of the Sith. It is a good movie. It is the best of the prequels. I definitely think so. And I get there's a lot of hate. A lot of people, like, we've come full circle with Return of the Jedi. When it first, I'm about to say launch, first came out, there was a lot of backlash. Then it kind of softened, and now we're back to hating it again, apparently. I still love it, but it's mainly because of the Ewoks and certain things. Covering Saturday, come hang out in the chat. I might be able to hang out in the chat on Rumble. Oof, I don't know how to get to Rumble. Others said The Last Jedi. I never saw The Last Jedi, but I can't imagine that's good. Dudes sit around thinking the story has to revolve around lesbian space witches. You know who to blame for the fall? That's Chicas. Well, I mean, it's really Weinstein's older sister. She the one who made that shit with Trinity from The Matrix. Which I was glad to not know shit of. Everybody covered it. I did, and I felt so smooth. Hey, and some people are starting to show up. Hey, Cotton. Hey, Brent. Hey, Cotton says this is his favorite. Forbidden Ruin. Fall of Star Wars has to be studied. It's a lot of blame. It's a lot of blame to go along. You know who I'm going to blame first? And this is going to be harsh, but when you remember how the events played out, we got to blame the fans. And he's like, what? Never forget how the fans and George, the tumultuous relationship of the 2000s into the 2010s, to when nobody questioned when he sold it. Let's not forget. Let's not do revisionist history. Yeah, we can look back and say, yeah, him selling it was the downfall. But don't forget how contentious the relationship between him and the fans were, and we got to see what really happens when this. You thought you didn't like some of the decisions he made in the 2000s with some of the media, motherfucker. When Disney got a hold of it, you saw what it really is to fuck up Star Wars. And that, would he have sold it if there wasn't so much backlash? if it wasn't, now we already know what the internet fan is like. You could never please them. You can never. Not saying all the internet critics, because listen, we can get into Disney. A lot of criticism is valid. Obviously, this channel started off very much criticizing a lot of the Disney decisions. One of the first things I reviewed was after Mandalorian seasons. At the time, I was right about the fan service. Even the erotic admitted I was right about the fan service shit with Luke, and everybody was freaking out about it, which I liked, but I realized what it was when I saw it. But again, I don't know if he sells if that relationship wasn't smoother. And not to say that he's blameless, but it was, at the end of the day, it was his property. When he sold to Disney, we all know what happened. And then once you get to Disney hands, you got to obviously blame everybody's favorite. Will she leave? Will she won't? Kathleen Kennedy. You got to give Bob Iger and Chapek their share of blame. Then, of course, the woke. The cultural Marxism. That's what woke means. For some reason, even people on the right don't even know what the fuck it is, because they're lemmings. Don't even know what the fuck they're talking about half the goddamn time. But yes, wokeness is a thing. What does wokeness mean? It's cultural Marxism. It's the bullshit. It's the force is female. It's everything but the fucking story is more important than the story. It's bullshit. And that was a huge issue. The Mandalorian success even though the first season I think was the best one, the second one was okay. Definitely had some bright spots, but that hype gave new false life and gave them a lot more leeway to do a lot more bullshit. And I'm not saying, listen, everybody says Andor's good, so apparently there is still some solid stuff. A lot of people like the Ahsoka series. That they got mixed reviews, but some people still liked it who care about the property. But I'm pretty much done. I may check out Andor eventually when I'm bored, but I'm pretty much done with that. But you know what, Brandon Holland? Some dudes do sit around thinking the story has to revolve around lesbian space witches. There's allegedly men in these writing rooms. Allegedly, there's men there. I mean, whether they are men for real, that's another can of worms. So if I can figure out how to do the Rumble, you got the link. Everybody check out Real Waves Rumble. Save the link. I'll try to save it. But I need to save it from my phone. So now I got my phone in here. Hand shot only. There is no second shot. But I get what you're saying. 1,001 ways to Ewok your dog. That's what's up. Your Star Wars is dead, at least for me. And listen, you still love it? Love it. Who gives a shit? They did have Monet in Star Wars. I had an issue with that. That was one of the last episodes. She put the beating on your boy Pedro Pascal. I'm like, we ain't seen this character all fucking year. She fucking body slam Pedro Pascal's character, and that's supposed to be cool. Like, what the fuck? They sure did put Monet, and they ain't never brought Monet back. Did they ever bring Sasha Banks back in Star Wars, or just that one time she slams Pedro and just walks off? But yeah, the consumer deserves their share of blame. The fans don't never want to blame themselves. But if the Star Wars fan had a better relationship with George, he'd probably still own that shit today. So, YouTube censoring content. Yeah, y'all keep telling me YouTube is censoring stuff. Who needs to please these dead internet fans? That's another good counterpoint. Because of all these bots, a lot of these there's real bots and human bots. And who cares about either one of them? Reason George even sold us because he was convinced he didn't have the talent. And who convinced him? It was the fans. The fans told all the shit. And I get he probably also didn't have the patience. Because I'm sure those aren't easy movies to do. But instead of keeping the property in-house and doing that, I think if there was a better relationship between George and the fans, he might have kept it. And we might have got maybe not as much material because you don't have that Disney money, that Disney machine. But we probably get better material. And might even got, there were some games. What's this one game that was got legendary but never got released? I forgot what it's called. It's like something with a number. So I think a lot of online wrestling haters is bots. How the 70K people yee for 12 minutes pretend he's trash. Yeah, I listen. I like Jey Uso. I'm sick of all this Jey Uso hate. Fuck you. I like, not you, but just like this idea that, oh, Jey Uso sucks. Suck my dick. They try to turn Star Wars into Steven Universe. Kinda. Allegedly. It ain't alleged. You saw what those incels did with Harley and Point. Yeah. Shit, they really fucked that little cartoon up. And that shit's still running. They still make new episodes of that weird Harley Quinn show, don't they? One dude in the corner remind them every 10 years to add a lightsaber fight, just so they don't forget. Online wrestling fans don't like the yeet. No, Tom Jensen. I don't know how. It's one of the funnest things. I think online wrestling fans don't realize this is supposed to be fucking fun. This is not a real competition. Unfortunately, a lot of fans became fans post. And listen, I don't have a problem with the dude. He gets a lot of blame for other people following him. But they became fans post Dave Meltzer. And listen, I used to be a part of, or I used to subscribe to his little newsletter and podcast back in the day. I watched a lot of New Japan. I don't agree with him on everything. I haven't listened to him in forever, probably like 5 years, probably since the pandemic. I haven't listened to him. But I don't hate Dave Meltzer either. But they came up under being a fan under him. There was a time where a lot of Dave Meltzer clips were free on the internet, and they would show the actual part of the match. And that's where a lot of his fan bases came from. And so there's a group of fans who think this is about who can do the most moves. Who can do the most moves. Doesn't matter if they botch them. Doesn't matter if they do them well, but just who can do the most moves. And this idea that this is a fake, they want it to be more of a real sport, which it's real athletes, don't get me wrong, but they want it to be more of a real sport than it is. And I don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's supposed to. Yeah, you got Randy Orton's a good, really good shape. You got athletic dudes. Braun Breaker, really athletic dude. You know what I mean? Some of those guys are former football players, former basketball players. You want people with real athletic skill. I mean, obviously Brock, MMA champion, wrestling champion in college. Yeah, you want great athletes. Yeah, you want to see cool moves. I like seeing cool matches too, but that's not the end all be all. And they just go, and then what is a good match? I've heard some of these same wrestling fans say Gunther can't wrestle. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? What the fuck do you want? Because they don't do enough. He don't do flips. I like Will Ospreay. I don't expect everybody to wrestle like Will Ospreay. I don't want everybody to wrestle like Will Ospreay. Everybody should wrestle like themselves. But that's another can of worms. Another can of worms. You said most people on the internet need to grab a book, take a shit. You're not kidding. Touch grass, do anything. How you gonna tell the person that created a property you're a fan of he has no talent for the property he created? Very good question. A lot of people were pissed though with George. Not everybody loves the prequels, but there was some issues with it. Which now I look back, it's like those prequels really taught you how government actually works. I don't think there's a major property, like a mainstream property, that's going to explain how government actually works better than that prequel trilogy. Straight up. That was the most, and it is a little dry and it is a little boring, but it's literally the best explanation for how government has and always will work. About how shadow government works, how you have people below, how the espionage, the fakery. I mean, I saw like Metal Gear Solid as a game. Very few mainstream properties are going to really explain to you how government work. Surprised no Star Wars makeup tutorial scenes. Because makeup tutorials, that's what all YouTube wants is makeup tutorials. I don't even know if that's PG. Ricochet beefing the EL Sky. She didn't reply. She shouldn't reply. People need to worry about themselves. Listen, Ricochet, he's obviously a talented dude, right? Especially with the high flying stuff. Very talented high flyer. He's got a weird gimmick over at AEW, but he's got some traction. Just keep doing what you're doing. AEW's got to stop focusing on WWE, man. I'm not saying there's. I know. Sometimes WWE will send a shot their way every now and again, but they just come on, man. Just build your product up. I like. Honestly, they still have more talent. Believe it or not, still have more talent. Always focus on the fuckery. Always. Just perma focus on the fuckery. It just don't make no fucking sense. Bring back the Shopmaster shit. I'll take the Shopmaster over a lot of this other shit. Even though they got so much more talent and don't know, except in the place that matters, they're booking. And listen, WWE's not booking a perfect product by any stretch of any imagination. Are they booking a perfect product? As much as I talk shit about some of the fans just complaining about everything, there are some valid complaints to be had, especially with how certain things are booked and just how long certain stories take to come together, and how often a lot of stars are showing up. That's become a problem over recent years. You just, you just don't see everybody every week. And I get that you never saw everybody every week all the time, but you used to see much more star power than you do now. So those are issues I have. And yeah, there's some angles I would rather be different, and I'd rather certain people be booked stronger. But I plan on tuning in for Cena and Orton too. I'm positive on Backlash. I'm gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not negative on it. I'm gonna watch. I even thought about paying for it. It was only $8, so it was like, ain't the end of the world. So if they can keep getting idiots like me to every now and again get them $8 for a show, I mean, get them a whatever for a shirt or whatever for whatever, then they doing what they supposed to be doing. What the fuck? Now, I get being mad at these ticket prices to an extent. I mean, I understand getting mad at the nosebleed prices. The floor seats, though, they gonna cost. That's just the way it is. And people, they keep selling out, so they're not pricing people out till they sell out, till they stop selling out. I mean, they did have some open seats at certain parts of Mania, but still 50, 60,000 people, two nights. I mean, people still will pay that money to go see Mania. And I thought Mania was cool. A lot of people didn't like that. It's just like, man, Mania was cool. What the fuck? Yeah, there does seem to be some issue with The Rock and Triple H. We'll see how that's handled. We'll see what TKO is doing. Speaking of TKO as a whole, they have an issue even with UFC. Saw Bo Nickel lost. Their issue with UFC is, in WWE, there's the issue, and this is kind of what got AEW of that they don't want to. There's certain guys they don't want to push. You would think in a sport that is real, allegedly real, obviously, but a sport that purports to be real, that couldn't be an issue, that the best fighter is just going to be the best fighter. But that's not what happens, and that's why you get a Bo Nickel, a Patty. I hate to do it to him because I think he's getting a little bit better, Patty Pimlet, Sean O'Malley, which again I think is probably better than Bo, but where they hype a guy up, and then other guys who you think are much more dangerous don't get the hype. I mean, remember Mighty Mouse? He didn't get the hype. Everyone got so angry at Kobe Covington when he became this MAGA character. But before he became that character, he didn't get the hype. So he had to do that. And that's another thing. UFC wants characters. They want WWE characters. And when they do WWE, they want them to be more grounded and real. It's actually backwards. They want UFC characters to be like WWE characters, and WWE characters to act like it's real. It's so backwards to me. Mania good. They managed to finish. Getting hit by title belts used to be finishes. That's part of everything's a finish. Do power bomb off the ladder through a flaming table and kick out at 2. You know what I'm saying? A belt, getting hit with the belt is a finish. And I get even the internet's hate of Travis Scott has made me like Travis Scott. Like him as an on-screen character because he is obnoxious, and It is obnoxious. And listen, I get, yeah, there's guys, Chad Gable works hard, and I get that. There's guys that work hard, but every year, they don't get pushed. But at the same time, WWF even, was huge with the celebrities. They have maybe Cyndi Lauper and Mr. T and some of those guys. And even, we mentioned Orange Man, Donald Trump many a time in the 80s and in the 2000s. They didn't have guys like that as a part of their program. They may not have ever gotten as popular as they did. Later on, they had Mike Tyson. That was a huge part of the Attitude Era and Stone Cold getting popped off. He tombstone Pete Rose 2 back-to-back years. Rest in peace, my man Pete. You know what I'm saying? And then, unfortunately, they was the only ones to put him in the Hall of Fame. MLB bitch ass still ain't put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, which is unreal. What trash. So celebrities are a part of it. I don't know what the fuck we try to do. Like, you had matches with what's the dude, Zeus? Not you, Zeus, but Tiny Listed Debo, because he had did a movie with Hulk Hogan. He had a match before. Like I said, Mr. T. Yeah, that's just a part of it. You obviously had the Floyd Mayweather, and now you got Logan Paul and Travis Scott. No, it was Debo. Debo from Friday, the president from Fifth Element, the one thug in the Dark Knight who saved the boat. Rest in peace. What's his name? Tiny Liston Jr. Taking tombstones better. Yeah, he took the tombstone. They got him twice. Did they give him 2 or 3 times? I remember he came back once as the chicken, and then he still got him. Tommy Lister, is that what it is? Tommy Lister, okay. Yeah. Rest in peace. He was a good dude. Okay, he got him 3 times. Okay, yeah, I thought he got him 3rd time. See, that was fun. They had Boyz II Men do the national anthem at one of those Attitude Era ones. Then they had Jagged Edge do the marriage. You know what I mean? They always would toss different celebrities. Lawrence Taylor was in the main event once. So this isn't new. This is what wrestling's been. And then even WCW, remember Robin being in the NWO? How cool that was. They had the No Limit Soldiers show up when they were at their peak. Even TNA had, what's my man from the White Sox when they won, AJ Brzezinski or something? He was the catcher, and because he was cool with Jeff Jarrett. And apparently Taylor Swift was cool with the Jarrett family. Apparently she babysat for Jeff Jarrett. That's a thing. I know they all from like Tennessee and Carl Malone. Carl Malone was a part of that shit. WCW. So celebrities have been. This ain't new. But again, these purists who think, listen, I like watching Okada and Kenny Omega. If you ever seen that match, it's a great match. It's wonderful. Everything's not supposed to be that. You're supposed to have different stuff on the card, different flavor. Even New Japan has comedy characters. You know what I mean? They have characters that aren't supposed to be taken serious. They do things that aren't supposed to be taken serious. Oh yeah, Jay Leno. And Terry Crews did have a match. You're right. He did try his hand in wrestling. I think they had come out. 3-6 Mafia do a Mark Henry theme live before too. He said, "Fuck Okada." I mean, Okada nowadays is one of the most boring wrestlers. And he never was he was always good, pretty good. Don't get me wrong. He would have good matches, but he had the greatest moveset for all the hype. You know what I mean? He had some cool moves. He had that drop kick. The clothesline just kind of is what it is. Does a tombstone, does the Orton DDT, does a elbow drop, has a couple of cool suplexes, a couple of cool holds. He had a cool moveset, cool enough, and he would take any move. That's really what he really got hype over. But he wasn't even the best seller. To me, Naito was the best seller, who I think is retiring. And to me, Naito and what's his name, Tanahashi, sold better than him. So I didn't really understand why Okada was just like. And I liked some of his matches, but they're not really because of him. You know what I mean? His best matches is the ones with Kenny, and then even though that motherfucker crazy and almost killed himself in the match, the one with Shibata. Where Shibata almost kills himself because he gives himself was an aneurysm or something, or blood clot in his brain because he's dehydrated and he legit shoot headbutts. He headbutts him for real. You can hear the thud and you can see him bleeding. He headbutts Okada for real. But that match was fucking cold. Like I hate to say that's one of the coldest fucking matches I ever seen. Cause they really kind of was like, the thing with Shibata's matches is they would do the striking against each other's spot where, I mean, they would just hit each other, bro. That's why people like this matches, but he really fucking headbutted Okada and almost died. New Japan's about to fall soon. That's sad. New Japan had a run, and AEW, AEW heard a lot of things. I'm not just going to bash on them. I was an early supporter. This became the wrestling podcast. These casuals can go anywhere, man. We can go anywhere. We was talking about something serious a couple days ago. Now we talk about wrestling. And I'm a casual wrestler. Wrestler fan. Wrestler, yeah, right. Richard the wrestler. I can't fucking wrestle. I just went to the gym. I couldn't even get my whole fucking workout. And I'm so out of shape. Just tired. Female wrestling podcast. Not female wrestling podcast. Because they ain't no female wrestlers to podcast about at this point. Jesus, they cut everybody. But never seen AEW, never seen an episode. I went to one when I still lived in Charlotte, and it was one of the early episodes where Cody is a babyface, and he cut a great promo, and it was fun. It was a fun show. I was watching it until about the pandemic, then I fell off of all wrestling, and really Roman Reigns kind of got me back into watching wrestling at all, like 2023-ish. Which I would sometimes catch a pay-per-view between then. Not like I watched nothing between 2020 and 2023. But I started to kind of get back around, I say around SummerSlam 2023. Nah, I'm doing a job. Pause. Yeah, Cora J, everybody girl. But yeah, around 2023, I kind of got back in. Maybe a little bit before SummerSlam. Got back into it. It was a Bill Goldberg's TV debut. You had said that. That's cold. Because we talked about it. That was cold. Man, they talk about all the bad booking in WCW. I know I tell this story every time Tom mentions it because I'm an old man. But, may not have heard it. How they fucking booked Goldberg was incredible. Because it started off pushing a totally different wrestler. They pushed, now Bill, known as Bill DeMont, was his regular name. He was a trainer for WWE. He's got a pass. You can look him up. But he had a character called Hugh Morris. And his finisher was called the No Laughing Matter. It was a moonsault finish. I remember I just was, back with WWE Network, I just was going through old Nitros and just watching them. And so for like 4 or 5 weeks, he just beat jobbers with the No Laughing Matter. No matter what happened to the match, hit that moonsault, hit the No Laughing Matter. But the moonsault, he's about 280 doing the moonsault. So he was a big dude doing the moonsault. And he would finish him. And then they treated it, because Goldberg didn't get an entrance at first, nothing. He just comes up, he's in the black trunks, and they treat it like it's just going to be another jobber, even though you can see this motherfucker jacked. And motherfucker, he hit the No Laughing Matter. Bill Goldberg pops up. The crowd loses their shit because we didn't have 100,000 kickouts. So when he didn't kick out, when he hopped up, didn't even get pinned, I don't think, on the No Laughing Matter, motherfuckers lost it. He spears him, he jackhammers him, he pins him, he walks out the ring. Everybody goes crazy because they didn't know what he was. They didn't hype him up. They treated him like he was another jobber, but then he just beat this dude who had been winning for like months on TV, who been beating jobbers for months, and he just got his ass kicked. And then they try to interview him, and he just blows whoever tried to interview him off. And you have a legend made off of one fucking match, and you didn't even book him. He wasn't the one you built up a whole other dude just for that. And then they start the streak. Oh man, Bill Goldberg has won his first 15 matches. And then the shit went nuclear, bro. I don't know why they've never done this again. That was the best way to book Steve Crow was so over. Thank God nothing happened with all those tricks. Man, I remember the one where he comes down and he has the bat. Everybody acts like they're scared of the bat. They're all outside the ring and he kind of holds it out. And he just throws away the bat. They come in. He still beats their ass. That shit was so hard. Sting was Batman back then. We didn't have Christian Bale Batman. And that we had already lost, Batman, Michael Keaton. So he was the Batman we had instead of George Clooney. It was Sting. Man, that shit was hard. So WCW, never forget. That's why people got to understand with the Attitude Era. Listen, WCW was the number one wrestling program with a bullet. It was obviously the number one wrestling program. There are people who got into wrestling for WCW and the NWO and Sting and Goldberg and all this other shit. And people, I know that's been lost to the annals of time. But it's true. And then remember, they had the cooler game. I mean, you had the older arcade games. You had Saturday Night Main Event, which was cool. And then, what's it called? WrestleMania, the game that used a little bit of the Mortal Kombat engine mixed with the wrestling engine. And those were cool. But when fucking, was it NWO Revenge? WCW NWO Revenge? Or the one with the first one where they had the Aki system. For the 64, that shit was cold. During that night, Roddy Piper came and told us he'd been in more steel cage matches than Brigham Young had wives. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, yeah, WCW was the shit. I don't know how we could ever get back there. You gotta teach motherfuckers to cut promos. You gotta let. One thing I do think needs to happen. You got to have a little bit more freedom or collaboration between the writing and the wrestler. And one thing we do have to remember, there weren't a lot of long matches. So you do also have to commit to showing shorter segments to get more people on TV. And maybe only having 1 or 2 long matches per week. Instead, they try to use matches to just pad out their length of their time. And I get it because it's easier to do that. But you need to say, okay, we got 2-hour show, 3-hour show. This is WWE, AEW, any one of them. And I'm not saying they never do some of this because sometimes, but certain storylines they just recently did where you have a storyline reoccur. You have one main storyline, and that you're going to see, when they had Seth and Braun and them. Okay, Sam, we need you to know by the end of the night what you think is you gonna be with us or not. Something simple. That's simple. So this is them doing it. And then throughout the night you have updates, main event, they have the climax of that. And then while you're doing this, you have a lot of short matches. This is why you need a jobber system too. You need people like, okay, these people are just there to lose. They can maybe have a good match, but they're there to lose. And then you show enough of those. You give enough promo. You make sure everybody get at least 5 minutes of wrestling and promo time, depending on how good they are. And if you can commit to give everybody 5, some characters maybe not all at once. Maybe they get a reoccurring storyline, a B storyline throughout the thing. And it's not easy, especially doing this every week for 2 main shows, which both come. But didn't AEW get rid of some of their bullshit shows? If they could just do this with Dynamite, fuck it. Dynamite, 2 hours. What's our main plot? How do we get as many people on either talking? You can do backstage. And so, again, some of this they're already doing. I'm not saying they're doing none of it. But they really got to commit and only have. Everybody can't have a 20-minute match or even a 5. Everybody can't have an 8-minute match. Everybody can't have a 3-minute match. And that's why I don't know why Speed is not on TV. That's a perfect concept that should be on TV, the Speed Championship for the men and the women. That's perfect. You keep saying they make a TV title. They don't have to. Just use the Speed title. Use the fucking Speed title. Maybe give the TV matches 8 minutes instead of 7. And then there you go. There's your 8-minute matches. That ironically enough is a Speed match. But then they can have a high impact match, like a luchador style match, since that's become not only that become more popular, obviously it's about Triple I. Have a 7 to 8 minute luchador style match, either men or women. Boom, Men on Raw, women on SmackDown, or vice versa, whatever one. Won't now. If we want our wrestlers, the people who want to see all the moves, just had the speed. It's 5 minutes on the internet, it's 8 minutes on TV, and for 8 minutes they just go crazy. And it's like, oh, cool, we get that. So now you get, this is how you get everybody. Then, again, we having, and, certain characters' story. Crash Holly, shout out to Crash Holly. The whole thing was he was a super heavyweight. His character was important. It's not that we don't want to still see cold matches, because that was cool too. We wanted to see the cruiserweights. We wanted to see some of the crazy shit too. Fucking El Parker dancing and hitting motherfuckers in the head with chairs and shit. We want to see the show. And that's not any fucking thing can happen, man. A celebrity might show up. Somebody might get a stunner. Somebody car might crash. They might shoot milk at the ring, shoot beer at the ring. Somebody might get sacrificed to Satan. I'm not, you know what I mean? Any fucking thing could happen. So that's what I thought it is. It's 5. They should have it 5 for the internet, and if they're on TV, it's 8 minutes. But some matches can still end at 5 or end shorter than that. You know what I mean? But they give them that little extra time for TV. Or you know what? Fuck it, just keep it at 5. Yeah, Ministry Undertaker, 2 hours is normal too. Yeah, they fired the stud line. I didn't mind the stud line. I thought they just should have did more with them. And you know what? That's nothing. They afraid to lead into shit. Let them just be angry feminists beating people up. Because part of the thing with the stud lines, they're not just lesbians, they also MMA fighters. When DeVille and Baszler and shit, wasn't they part of it? So it was like, okay, can fucking scrap. They should have ran with the stud line. I don't know what the problem was. But the problem, outside of, they don't want to lean into shit like they used to. It's like, yeah, they could have just been angry feminists. They could either be trying to convert. Well, you can't, what I was about to say, you can't show them trying to convert women. That's not right. That's a stereotype. Okay. Well, whatever, something. You could have made them real heels, really beating up girl. Maybe they mad at girls. Maybe they feel discriminated against. Oh, you discriminated against me because I'm not trying to show my ass on TV. I'm not showing my ass on Twitter like all these other hoes. So you discriminated against us. And then you bring in the Twitter and the social media shit in real life. Like shout out to and they both killing it. Jay and fucking Naomi. They be saying the funniest shit to each other on social media. But Show always showing her ass. I even know that. I don't be following her. And Pretty Deadly. I mean, shout out to Pretty Deadly. At least they get TV time, but they could have did something with the stud line. But again, give them 5 minutes, give them 3 minutes, give a bunch of people a bunch of minutes. R-Truth, you should see every episode. I guess R-Truth being some of these guys you do see every episode, but you know what I mean? Just quick in and out, pause. Just like they used to. But have a couple of good long matches. Pause. For the fans that do want a good wrestling match. Have one main storyline, maybe a B storyline. And if you do long time storytelling, something's gotta happen different each week. You can't just have something happen each week. I mean, golly, I'm just thinking of different stories, how they would tell shit. And it was just a lot of simple shit. And I get, again, it's hard to do this shit every motherfucking week. But whether it's simple as having, Eric Angle, Kurt Angle brother, and how they beat Brock, where you start off the match, it actually is Kurt Angle, and then he rolls out or roll back. However they did it, it's like you think they did some shit where they double cross Brock, and then the guy who wins is Kurt Angle, but the guy who Brock had pinned wasn't Kurt Angle, and he realized it. Like, cool little shit like that. But that was just 1 week. Yeah, they basically did Twin Magic with Brock, with Eric Angle before it was Twin Magic. There was cool shit like that, and this is just 1 week. This is why they ran with the Authority for so long. And I grew to hate the Authority But I don't know if the ratings has been as good since they had the Authority. Maybe a couple of times during the Bloodline feud, they hit that peak. Because it gave them something to do each week. And I hate it. The main thing I hated about the Authority is they didn't have a female character to absorb Stephanie's heat. Because Stephanie was smacking all these dudes and disrespecting all these dudes, and nobody ever gave her comeuppance. If they would have had the female revolution already done and they had what's her name then, it would have been perfect. They kind of tried with AJ Lee, they kind of tried with the Bellas, but then the Bellas ended up just turning heel, which that was kind of weird, but that's neither here nor there. They both just like, the one turned heel on the other, then the other one ended up turning heel later, and they're like, okay, whatever. Authority was annoying as fuck, but the reason they ran with it is because it gave them something to do each week. 1 week, Randy RKO Seth. Next week, he RKO, what was the two, J&J Security. The next week, he got to fight Kane. That's 3 weeks of TV just off of the Authority, and you had that bitch scream each time. And so, I hated it. I hated that shit. I hated the Authority. But there's a reason they did it. And I see that now. I was wondering about that. So Retro Richard says, Triple H said Brock can come back anytime he wants. I was wondering if Brock is ever going to be back, because they keep trying to distance himself from Vinnie Mac. Paul not to the rhyme, not to the hate slasher, by the way. Yeah, it was annoying, but like I said, it was consistent. Yeah, J&J Security, yeah. And so, and like I said, each week, the only bit of come up that she has when they finally did that, her and Triple, which that was a cold match, by the way. Her and Triple H versus Ronda and Kurt Angle. That's actually probably Ronda's coldest match. That was her first one. That's probably her coldest match. That was her first one. Yep, Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble. Yep. They were J&J Security. And they would have Corporate Kane, but he would come out as the Demon Kane. It was just it was so goofy. But like that whole run, as annoying as it was like there was a reason. So they had a central storyline every fucking week episode. Even though I got so tired of seeing that bitch come out and just bury everybody. All she did was bury motherfuckers. And then CM Punk had left. It was, oh my God. Oh, yeah, I do remember that shit. His face exploded. The ladder hit him his face, busted his nose wide open. It was just like chaos, yes. I have that on a DVD somewhere. I got like a ladder match DVD where WWE put together a whole thing of ladder matches and just put out a DVD. And it has that. It kind of shows, it doesn't like close up after it happens, but you see it. Oh, no, or does it? It might have it. Might have to one close up. But you definitely see it. Vicky beat Stephanie, threw her in the mud. Was that during the, I thought that was, I don't remember that during the what's called. Was that before the Authority, or maybe I'm wrong? Excuse me. She was an annoying heel, Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me. The first Karen. She's really the first Karen character of any media that I could think of. It was 2014. Maybe that was the same era then. That was around my time I was coming back, so I didn't watch every episode religiously, so I probably missed that. I was between 2013 and 2014. I was casually coming back into wrestling. It was her last run, so I might have missed part of that. It's like I didn't see every single episode. Every time. She was the proto Karen, man. She was the first Karen character I had ever heard. Now we see these hoes everywhere, unfortunately. Excuse me. Excuse me. She came with Eddie Guerrero thing, so yeah, I missed this. That's cool. Somebody, they didn't have enough. Oh, man. Like I said, Stephanie would just drive me crazy. Stephanie had that grating ass voice, too. And again, she would just slap everybody. I just hated that bitch. I don't want to see this anymore. Again, that's probably why I didn't watch every fucking episode. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I missed a lot of it. You put Vicky Guerrero in your SmackDown versus Raw 2008, 2009 games. Hey K2J, if I didn't say hey earlier, appreciate you being here. It's always cool for some of you guys to show up. Obviously, check out K2J and Slasher. They be doing streaming. They be doing plenty of streaming. If you want to see some games, I thought about getting some SNES games in. If I can find that gamepad. See if I can get it going. But yeah, I did not mean for this to be the wrestling podcast. Excuse me. Yeah, fuck that bitch. Let me see. Uh-oh. What the hell is this? I don't know. It's just taking forever to search. Her new podcast is pretty cool. Whose podcast? Who, Stephanie's? She won a woman. I did. I remember that in the 2000s. Put Stephanie in the 06 Raw game. SmackDown versus Raw. Yeah, Stephanie. Okay, her podcast. I saw she did something with the Anoi family. Or Anoi. Anoi. I always mess up the pronunciation. Can I find that game? Oh, man. I don't want to fuck something up. Hold on a second. I made the mistake of trying to do something different. They're just trying it live. And I can, oh, here it is. Here's the gamepad. The SNES gamepad, I should say. Is it even plugged up? Let's hope so. If not, you gotta do that. I don't think it is. No, it's not. All right, let's plug it up. At least he found it without destroying the world. World did destroy, still in progress. But yeah, listen, wrestling is still okay. I mean, like, because it's never going to be fucking perfect, right? And I get if you don't want to watch it because it's not as good as it used to. I get, like, in many ways, I feel like they just don't really have the stars. I think they don't, this has been a long rumored thought, but they don't want a lot of guys or gals even leaving them, which I don't understand that. My thought is you should feel like you can always make a star. If you had that attitude, you would be making more money and you might have more stars because people who have that it factor might try to go into wrestling. And instead you got a bunch of fucking jobbers. I don't even know what to tell you. And that's not to say everybody's a jobber, not some really talented people. There absolutely are. As I'm trying to think of what to... Art of Fighting. I haven't played this in forever. Let's try that. Best part of Authority. Oh, he breaking over Cena's face in that knee. Man, shout out to your WWE 2008 career. Shout out to Community Creations for real. Yeah. You ever want to see how you begin your extra wrestlers? Still following some people posting on the internet. Yeah, shout out to Community Creations. Imagine for yourself, you sample model, so it was easy. Fair enough. But yeah, he did. See, that's the thing. Seth fucked a lot of people up during that run. He broke his face. A couple years later, he fucked up Finn. In between that, he fucked up Sting. I watched a lot more. Your buddy Jake still out. Oh, man. Rest in peace to Jake. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Folks put the call formulas out. They might have been former THQ employees. We would never know. Okay, let's get some gaming going. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Input configuration. Is he gonna show up? Maybe. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna run it and see if it shows up. Okay, fuck it, let's try it. Let's try to do it ghetto. We just talked about building rock. Is this gonna work? Oh man, I hate this shit. Yeah. Man, I'm pressing start like a motherfucker. Is it not plugged up? Yes. Man. This fucking thing. Alright, I guess we're not. Well, this is plugged in. This is a gamepad. It's plugged in and it reads. I should need DS4. See, this is why I don't play a lot of retro games, because I always have fucking issues. I see you see the settings. I have the input plugged in. Let me make sure it reads. Is it reads plugged in? Yeah, because I just unplugged it and read it. Okay. I have the SNES joypad. Start's just not working. So when I get off, it'll pause. Pause. When I get off of the whatchamacallit. Input configuration. Fuck. Record for most court appearances. I wonder if we're gonna get any names. That's all I really, and not just names that we know, but like, is anybody powerful really gonna go down for this, or is Diddy just gonna be the scapegoat? And it's just gonna be baby oil jokes, and everything was all Diddy, and he was the only person ever to think to do this, and there was no, of course. Oh, that was weird. Why is that an option? The tech gamepad changes. That's okay. Whatever.
Now, one, fight.
I do not know the rules of Arm and Wolf 2. Wow. Got shit on the Sega version. Well, this is the SNES version, and I do not have 6 buttons. And I haven't played this game in at least 20, 30 years. Okay, you got fireballs. Well, that took way too much help. Oh, wow. But no, I didn't see. So you put a lot of people in the fucking thing. Apparently, I had no skill. You're right, I had no skill.
Wow.
Free Sean Combs, free barbecue. Oh, I'm getting fucked up, guys. SCS controller version is trash. It shouldn't be so hard. I mean, I'm getting whooped on, bro. I don't know how long we're gonna be doing this. We're done with this. I mean, shit, I can't even get up past the first guy. I don't even have a chance. I don't even have a chance. Okay. You proved your point. You proved your point. Let's just pick a different game. Pick a different game. What do we got here? Barkley Shot Jam. Batman Forever. Beethoven Second. The hell is that? Is that about that dog? Bobby's World? Holy shit. Brett Hole Hockey. Is there anything easy? There's nothing easy in these old games. There's nothing just shit. Oh, they got Chrono Trigger. I don't know about to start something like that. Nothing easy, so let's check out Contra. Can't get anything easy. Robert Returns 2045. Never play a fighting game with a Shuriken command. It's impossible to pull off. You play the SNES version of Artifact Fighting. Man, I was struggling with basic stuff, so I'm not gonna blame that. I mean, I did get it off once, pause. But what do you think, son? Played this one forever. Shows how trash I am. Artifact 2 is a little bit better. Contra is so fucking hard. Not a game should be started trying to play. Shit. Shit. Oh, I suck at this game. Okay, we'll go through my continues and we'll keep going. I know slashers sometimes talk about, oh, I can't get off the first level. Bro, I can't even get to the first level. So I cannot focus on the chat. Shit. Some evil fucking dog. Fuck. So this dog's gonna do some evil shit. Everybody doing some evil shit. Why y'all doing all this evil shit? Why don't y'all do something productive with y'all fucking lives instead of fuck with me? Shit. Waste. Fuck these people. Murder them. Read a story. Destroy shit. Try not to get JFK. No. Fuck you. Not like this. Shit. Shit! Hey, bipolar BP Joseph. Bipolar guy, science fiction. Appreciate you being here. Been a minute. Can't but feel like this is just a subtle way to get back to me. Oh, man, I would love for you to get back to that. That's why, I love your channel. No, honestly, Slasher does a lot of this. Shout out Slasher with Splitter. He plays a lot of old games. He's been having me want to play some old games. I was like, man, I'm going to just do it. Lord, you saw the technical issues I had. I want to make games. I want to get back into that. And this is the stuff I want to make, retro style games. Just maybe try to add some little hot sauce to it. Oh, sheesh. Getting wrecked. These old games, no joke. Contra is known to be no fucking joke. As you guys see, you do your people well. That's crazy work. Fuck you, Richard. So I can't get to this level. Shit! Fucking hoe. Shit! Fucking hoes. Hoes. Alright, appreciate you being back. Yeah. They don't let me. I was trying to get the game catch so you can at least don't have to see all the whatchamacallit. It's on the outside. Let me try playing it and see if it'll take. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So it's just a little bit better visual. Which means I know a lot of people use emulators, and I don't have a problem with it. I've heard this platform can have a problem with it at sometimes, but people play emulators and homebrews all the time. All the time. There's a lot of people play those Kaizo? I always get it mixed up because I know one is fucking one is Godzilla, one is fucking Mario. They're homebrews. They're fan-made stuff. And people play that shit all the time. That's not exactly legal. Shit. Oh. This fucking evil dog. Oh my. Fuck you. Oh. Vicious. We'll try it. this set of continues, then we'll switch again. Or we might call it a night. Shout out to everybody watching. Happy to, that's what I'm playing on now. I'm thinking about getting a handheld emulator. I still am. I mean, I don't know how I looked last year and I didn't pull the trigger. I hope it's not too terrible with the tariffs and all that good or bad or whatever shit. But we'll see. Like I said, I want to make a game. I'm going to make a game. I've made games before. I don't know if I've shown. There's one I still got on my phone that I made. NFL season, it feel close to me. To me, once the draft and I was like, we only 90 days to the, what is it? We less than 90 days to the first preseason game. It's now you get pre-camp, mini camps, off-season activities. No, the season to me feel like it's just about to get going. Because before you know it, it'll be August and it's it's summer now. So that's when you get all the camp and all the off-season shit. With camp, there's still trades usually happen in June and July once teams is actually dealing with each other and they're like, man, we can't deal with this motherfucker. We gotta trade. We saw George Pickens just get traded. These teams starting to do OTAs and shit like that. When they start really having to deal with some of these motherfuckers, they start trading these motherfuckers. So yeah, it's still sometime. Like it don't feel right around the corner, but it feel like okay, it is coming. Like a few months, it's season start, and it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be for all. It's a lot of teams that I think could be good too. This is not gonna be no easy season to predict. We will definitely, because we've had a little sameness recently, especially in the AFC. Well, the top 4 teams, the AFC, the past year has been the same. It's been Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, the top 4 teams. Past couple years. So, and I kind of think that's still going to be the case. Now, the Chargers are going to be in this bitch. The Chargers definitely, I think, it wouldn't surprise me if the Chargers had more wins than the Chiefs. That's a hot take. You want to pipe a hot take. I can see the Chiefs. Now, that doesn't mean the Chiefs won't still win the Super Bowl. I could just see them having a down year. A semi-down year. Not a total, but like 11-win year instead of 15. 11, maybe 10 wins. Still make the playoffs. Maybe not win the division for the first time in a while. Even Belichick and them had down years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe win 11 games. You can't peak all the time, every time. You know what I mean? Endlessly, forever. Even when you're cheating. Hold on, miss on. Sure, there's that details. Brother first to jailbreak the PlayStation. Man, that's dope. I remember when they started jailbreaking Fire Sticks. I'm trying to figure out how to do that myself. Closest thing I seen Injustice 1 and 2 because Teen Titans. How cool were their Teen Titan games? Man, how cool if they would have got Gotham Knight right. Obviously, it's not Teen Titans. I mean, there's so many games we need. Post really, I'll say the Rocksteady game. I mean, a lot of people also maybe give credit. I didn't play Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not playing Marvel Rivals. I did obviously play both of the Spider-Man games. Didn't play the Miles Morales one, which some people said might be the best one out of the Spider-Man games. Lord knows we played the Spider of Us and some of the boat stuff in the second one, which I mean, goodness, great. That game was very. And the first one, that was my contention when I played the first one. The first one was very obnoxious. Belichick does have a hotter girlfriend than Travis Kelce. I don't know, because Travis Kelce is putting the status over everything else. Is that game over? Oh, one more continue. Must be Canada the game. Hey, listeners, appreciate you being here. I missed out most of the NES and SNES catalog because you're poor. I feel you. So we would rent games. We only had like 5 or 6 games. Sometimes before they had GameStop, they had Funko Land. You would take games back, but we would rent games. That was the swag. You could rent games. Oh man, there's nothing like. Oh man. There'll never be something like the movie rental place again, where you can rent. And it wasn't just Blockbuster; it was independent, local places too. You just had some space. I remember this one on basically where I grew up at, and I think it's like a dispensary or some shit. It was cool. You could just rent. So if you didn't have games, a couple bucks for a couple days. If not, sometimes rental was cheap, especially depending on the year. So you could rent, rent a game for 3 to 4 days. Especially had a day off or something like that from school. Man, that was the shit. So you could definitely play a lot of games you didn't own just because of the rental. I know I definitely played a lot of games I didn't own. Because the rental, like Mario RPG and shit like that, which I don't remember. I remember playing a ton of that game, but don't remember it as an adult. Part of it was just because my stepdad was really into games. I don't think who knows, maybe we wouldn't have if he wasn't. Yeah, video store near the house was the best. Wasn't that close, man? Those was days. We'd get like some Coney Island and rent games and movies. Man, that was the shit. Fat ass finger slip. We're gonna get to the rented Final Fantasy VII. I remember the NES PAL, local rental place. You can even rent systems too, but that was more expensive. It was too expensive to fucking rent system. I don't think I'm done playing games for now because I'm getting stressed out. But I'll chop it up with y'all for a little bit. But man, yeah, I missed that, man. Or getting pizza and it's just cool. It really made the weekend feel extra special. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna eat some pizza, watch some movies, play some games. Just felt awesome, bro. That just felt so awesome. Gave you something extra to do. Every Friday when you was in 5th grade, get out of school, go straight to the video store, rent 2 or 3 NES games on the weekends. Yeah. I still remember when Hollywood Video first appeared. Yeah, man. Like seeing Disneyland for the first time. They were the blockbusters. Yeah, they were. What Genesis to NES. People forget about Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video was cold, man. You could rent the console. Yeah, renting consoles. It was like, man, Contra 3 is hard as fuck. Yeah, all them Contras is hard as fuck. But yeah, renting consoles was a bit too much. Though sometimes you might have a cousin or a friend who did it. And then, Family Video was also cold. Hollywood Family. Then, like I said, you sometimes have mom and pop joints. Man, that was a whole revenue stream, whole way to make money. Speaking of which, I just dropped a video. Well, for members, y'all got it now. For everybody else, y'all get it tomorrow. Me talking about physical media need to come back. And I could have, I'll be honest, probably could have did better. But physical media used to generate so much joy and money, and give. I was able to put the clip of Matt Damon talking about how there were certain movies they could take a chance on because they knew they were going to sell DVDs, and now they don't. Yeah, I like the mom and pop places too. Hoarding like crazy pieces, not that type of pizza. We ain't talking about Hillary Clinton. We're talking about actual like Papa John's and some shit, Little Caesars. Oh yeah, the book off. Or Pepperidge Farm. Remember when Pizza Hut had motherfucking buffets? Pizza Hut was really, you were supposed to go inside and get Pizza Hut. And then it was in Detroit. There's other shit like Bob's Pizza and shit. There's all sorts of Happy's Pizza, all these random places, gas stations that had good pizza. Somebody, oh man, it wasn't for the traumatic events happened in our childhood, I might look back with it, nostalgia. How to rent it? See, that was expensive because I think you had to have a deposit that you got back, and it was like an extra like $20, $30 a day. And then you got to remember consoles, even these old consoles. Much people complain about price. With the Genesis $300 or $400, and the SNES like $250, $300. So these are if you rented both of them, that's $700 consoles. $790, which you probably add to inflation, it's probably like, $800. You know what I'm saying? People talk about the Switch. I think more people mad about that game, those games. Those games being 90 is just too much. Arcades, yes, man. I miss arcades. I miss arcades with like a bunch of fighting games. Had the mall, shout out to Livonia Mall, had an arcade I would go to that was cold. Now it's a Walmart, but back then it was Livonia Mall. Or is it Walmart? That whole area, I forgot how they did it. The Atari Jaguar, yeah, it was extra steps to rent. Since the NES was $289. Says bipolar. Man, I still want a cabinet. I'm gonna just have to buy one day. One day when I'm rich. One day when this channel finally blows up. Nah. But man, I used to love the arcade. There was some cool arcades in Michigan too when I was young. You had Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. You had the one that was in Warren that had good deep dish pizza and a go-kart track and a dope-ass arcade, bro. Man, there was so many. And then there's a bunch of just random arcades. I thought there was one. I couldn't tell you which suburb. I think it's a little bit past Livonia, but it's still on 8 Mile or Baseline, as they may call it. That was 2 controllers, Mario, Duck Hunt cartridge, and the Zapper. Yeah, because you need the Zapper to work it. I wonder how that would work with emulation. Like, what's the rules of using like a Zapper or some of those other controllers with emulation? Does that work? Or was that designed only for a CRT TV? Yeah, I remember you needed a deposit. Genesis came out. Okay. Genesis TurboGrafx 16 were $189. Okay. The light guns don't work on the new TVs. Okay. So $189. Okay, still $200. So I appreciate the information. You doing the research for me. It's dope. Super dope. But yeah, I still like retro games. Actually, could have played it. Maybe next time. Maybe we get a stream. I'm probably not gonna stream tomorrow because I was able to stream a couple days, which is cool because I feel like I haven't been streaming enough. Like I said, we do got a video coming out, and I'm going to actually try to clip out some of those videos from, was it yesterday's stream or the day before? I can't remember. All these days just meshed together, unfortunately. But we were talking about the Buffalo school system and a lot of that shit. Even though I probably won't get much traction, I just feel like more people need to know about what's going on in these schools. And unfortunately, they don't. I'm going to look up and see any Teen Titan games do exist. They might. Definitely could be. I don't know about everything, so there's always something. Wild Guns for the SNES. Yeah, shout out to Slasher. Please sub to Slasher McSplitter. He does a ton of more retro games than I do. He's always playing something for the SNES or the Genesis or the NES. Just like obviously K2J, he's been playing Fortnite recently, but he's played a lot of retro games. I don't know if Low Spec Linux Laptop is here. He plays a lot of retro games. Retro Richard plays retro games. Few retro gamers around the channel. So, shout out to retro games, man. Some of the best games still. So I miss out on a lot of games. There's a lot of games, especially in the 2000s, that I missed out on. All about retro games using emulators. Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of it. I have a Genesis and I have a CRT TV. I haven't hooked it up. Yeah, the retro games are harder. They're a lot harder than you think, first off. And a lot of them are just outright harder. So, yeah, man. Yeah. But, all right, guys. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. No worries. Get back to it. Hey, if you fuck with Fortnite, fuck with Fortnite. A lot of people love that game, so it don't really matter. Got the gray and the orange ones. That's cool. I've seen people customize those zappers, too. That's cool. And you can get a CRT TV. I know because of retro games, they do manufacture them now again. And then sometimes you can find old ones. I was able to find old one at a garage sale when I was in Charlotte. But I haven't tried it maybe only one time since I moved, so I don't know how good it works. There are 3 Teen Titan games, and you have 2 CRTs. Cool. And for PS2 and GBA. So they were gifted to you. Okay, cool. Yeah, sometimes you can come across a CRT TV on Marketplace or something like that. Or they got the Nextdoor app. They got a bunch of different apps. Marketplace is probably the most common. Used to be Craigslist a generation ago, if they still use that. But sometimes you can find somebody just giving it away or giving it away for cheap. Which would be better than trying to get one shipped. And I gotta check and see how pricey the handheld emulator market is, because I kind of want a handheld. In any event, I appreciate you guys here. As C-Jax would say, I respect you. I love you. No, I appreciate you guys being here. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, and we'll talk probably Friday. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for chill vibes. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.